and just takes the rest of the game. I think that was great play by Lev there.
All right, well, with that, we're going to go into the final replay of the qualifiers portion of this tournament that we will stream. The next time you hear from us will be the semifinals. It's going to be Deadbones versus Valently. Are you guys ready to watch this final replay?
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
All right, going to start it in 3, 2, 1.
All right, here we are for the final match of the day. It's going to be Valently versus Deadbones here. And we have Valently going out with the squirrel, with the pigeon, skunks, and snakes. Ooh. Deadbones, in the meantime, going with the moles and squirrels, ferrets, and fox. And again, with his classic artillery.
So, looking at the map, there's this base that's right in the middle that looks like it's going to be the linchpin of this fight, because behind it, Deadbones has three very easy to build on bases, and if Deadbones can get the forward and control that little area, Valently's not going to have much avenue to attack through. He has to attack through that one little area, so it's going to be very important for Valently to try to control that one little base in the middle if he wants to have a chance in this game. Also, Valently's expansions are very vulnerable from that location, so if Deadbones controls it, Valently's going to have a very hard time expanding.
All right, both sides actually going for the 6-farm Warren build before building their 7th and 8th farms. There we go. Just getting some units up on the board. Both of them just going pretty evenly on the economy. What's gonna? Yeah. So
one of the reasons for doing that is you take a small hit in your tempo in ramping up your economy, but it allows you to make sure that your units can start getting produced a little faster. So you take a small sacrifice to just hedge your bets against your opponent doing anything aggressive, and it's good to get your units up early when map control is such an important part of the map that there's a certain focal point that you want to make sure you get control of early. So you want to make sure you have your units ready to contest that before your opponent does.
All right, there we go. Deadbones unfortunately going down as he was scouting out, trying to scout out what Valently was up to. But nothing too much important was lost there. Deadbones going to be going for a safe expansion to his left there. Econ up as much as he can as he gathers his squirrel army. Both sides with 12 squirrels ready. Not yet all ready, but soon will be ready for them to command, as Valently will be bringing out his pigeons as well.
It's an interesting location for that pigeon warren. It's going to be pretty safe from... It's going to survive most of them, and it's not affected by the long reinforcement distance as, say, a squirrel warren up there, because it can just fly over that ridge. So it's a safe location, and it doesn't cost him too much because the pigeons can fly.
All right, taking advantage of the terrain, Valently going to make sure he gets his pigeons safely. Meantime, both sides looking to just play this one pretty slowly. No one going for any aggressive attacks quite yet. Deadbones even plopping down a sniper balloon just in case. Valently goes for an aggressive play here. But Valently, he's going to be bringing out skunks. And skunks that we've usually seen not really effective in a lot of matches. But he's going to be bringing out 4 skunks at the same time. 2 warrens plopped down. How do you think that's going to affect things in this match?
So 4 skunks can build up a cloud of grass really effectively. And very quickly, and can control the fight because your opponent just can't fight in that cloud of gas for too long. So they have to move the fight. But the flip side is that's a lot of food invested, so you have to make sure you have enough units to back that up. And Valently has 12 squirrels, so I think he'll do all right with that. But the problem is Deadbones has that sniper balloon in that key position overlooking that mill, so Valently can't really expand or stay in that position too well, because now Deadbones has ferrets and he can poke, and so Valently can't contest this position too much. So, and he's only now starting to expand, while Deadbones has gotten his first expansion fully decked out right now, and he's going to get a large economic advantage.
All right, a little bit of poking from Deadbones here, trying to see what he can get with his ferret right now, though instead he finds Valently's army and pulls it out back immediately beforehand, and just decides to go for a 3rd expansion here. going for a safe econ. He has the high ground advantage. He has this vision. And he's going to go once again for the ferret play right here. He's going to bring them down, but Valently is going to see this. He's going to push them back. The ferrets trying to do as much damage as they can as they retreat, but, going to have to pull back for just a little bit. He's going to try to weave in and out with the ferrets, but nothing too much happening with that engagement, as Valently will be putting a Fox Warden down for his own side.
So I think what Valently is trying to do with this Fox is try to deny this ferret harass, because Deadbones won't be able to bring the ferrets forward because of the Fox being able to poke at them. And he's doing this because he can't really safely build a balloon which could do the same thing, because the ferret could take down the balloon while it's building. So Valently's had to invest heavily into this tier 3 Fox to be able to protect himself from this ferret harass, because he didn't get his balloons up in time. But now Deadbones is... Oh, he was going to build his artillery, but
there we go. He puts it
in a different location.
Wants to give it the vision advantage of the high ground. Wants to make sure it has enough sight. And he probably predicts this middle elevation is going to be a huge battleground. So he's going to put his structures back behind just in case there's a big battle here. He gets all 4 of his ferrets up right now. Valently now building into another tier 2 unit. He's going to bring snakes into the battlefield right now.
Oh. Valently brought his Fox in to try to harass those ferrets, but it gets instantly taken out by the double sniper balloon.
Yeah, sniper balloon is just a really great Fox killer right now. It looks like Valently thinking about going in right now. He's trying to approach, but it's going to be pushed back. He's just probably going to wait for his Fox to revive here before he does anything else. And at the same time, Deadbones just continuing to get more and more farms. 3 farms already maxed out. He's going to go for a 4th farm. And with all this food, Deadbones is looking to slowly build up a giant army to face off against Valently. At the same time, Valently's going to put a sniper balloon here a little bit up north. At the same time, taking expansion also as well. He's going to go for his 3rd expansion. And now he's going to slowly peek his way through. He doesn't want to get his Fox caught, but he is going to be going around. The sniper balloon is not quite finished yet. He sees the unfinished structure. He's going to be going for it. He gets tagged with the poison, and now they see this unguarded expansion here. Can they do anything about it? The Skunks laying down their gas here in the back line, but will it be enough to deter Deadbones' army? Deadbones has his own Fox up as well, and has been pushing out Valently here. The Fox is down on Valently's side. All the units almost down for Valently. Pigeon, the final one is gone. Now the sniper balloon may be the next victim here. And it too is taken out, and this is the opening that Deadbones is looking for to push his way forward. Bit of a mistake from Valently there, trying to take engagement up on that upper expansion. Now going to turn to his own expansion being taken away. And now he's just going to push on forward. Valently trying to get as many reinforcements as he can, but they're all being chopped to bits and pieces right now, as Deadbones is now just solely focusing on this 2nd expansion. There we go, taken out right now. The Fox alive on 5 HP, and with that, Deadbones will take the game, as Valently calls the GG. All right.
Wow.
What do you guys think of that one, folks?
What a game to finish on. Definitely, it seems like getting caught in that northern corner was one of the downfalls. I know Deadbones was very far ahead in economy at that point, but Valently trying to go is kind of the only thing he could do at that point, besides maybe try and push a little bit forward. But the artillery was already on the high ground. Sniper balloons were going up more and more. Foxes were coming out for both sides. Wasn't a good situation.
I think all things considered, that was a favorable map for Deadbones, which was pretty clear. And he just laid back, he relaxed, he got the balloons up in good spots, which again was possible because of the map. And Valently went with the double skunk, which would be great if it was a fighting kind of style game, where both armies just keep clashing and skunk gas would do a lot of work. But as it stood, he just had 4 skunks, which unfortunately didn't really do anything until they died, because he couldn't engage into Deadbones' stronger position.
I think the skunks were a weak choice, because Deadbones has been playing the same deck for pretty much the entire tournament, and he plays it very defensively, very structure heavy, and skunks just don't do well into that. Skunks are better when your opponent is fighting into you and they have to chase through skunk gas instead of you having to chase into them and try to put skunk gas in their territory. And skunks just don't do anything against balloons and artillery turrets. And so Valently just didn't have any options
He had
against
snakes, which he didn't. He could have gone snakes instead of skunks, which would have been stronger against Deadbones' style, I feel. But he committed to the skunks, it felt like, and didn't consider switching that up.
I think the other thing is that Valently decided to just go for all of his units as well, and it sort of spreads out what your army is capable of doing. He wasn't really good at fighting off of Deadbones' army at all. It's when one of those tier 2 specialized units are taken out, that's pretty much the bulk of your utility of your army. And since he only has like a few of each one, it's not really huge for an army composition if you're going up against someone who can just econ up all the way to his liking.
I think you're comparing apples to oranges there, though, because Deadbones had more units because of the stronger map position, but Valently's army was more than capable of fighting, but not into a defensive line, which meant that he couldn't get to fight, so you didn't really see the strength of his units until he backed himself into a corner and kind of lost the game from there. So I just want to point out that Valently's composition was strong, just it couldn't fight into this particular map style that Deadbones played.
Right, especially with this patch. Well, that concludes the replays that we have for you guys today. That concludes week 3 of the qualifiers. Next time you hear from us will be on Saturday at 3 p.m. EDT, same place, for the quarterfinals stream. Let's go ahead and do some wrap-up predictions from you guys. Best Team Maker, what do you think is going to happen in these finals? Who's going to win?
Ooh, it's going to be interesting. Unfortunately, we had some unfortunate dropouts here. Ross dropping out, AV dropping out, Xeno dropping out. 3 really strong players unfortunately dropping out due to scheduling and personal reasons. But we still have a pretty strong potential top 8 right there. Lev, definitely one of the favorites to go in right now. Deadbones especially as well. Conte, what do you think your chances are in this top 8?
It depends if I stick with playing tier 2 only. If I play tier 2 only, I think I'm out in quarterfinals, depending on my opponents. And I think I might just do that, spoilers. Other than that, it would depend on who I face in quarterfinals. And if I want to look at the other players, I think Lev is definitely a big contender. I'd consider Deadbones to be the favorite, considering that AV and Xeno decided to drop out of the tournament, unfortunately. So yeah, we've seen Two Flower upset Classic Metal, so maybe he can do something if he ends up going, if he has a good opponent in the quarterfinals. And then Lol Steamroller is in second place currently, which we shouldn't forget. So he might be able to take a strong game and suddenly find his way into the finals.
Yeah, Lol Steamroller surprisingly taking out some pretty big names in this tournament.
I'm going to take some time to hype up my dark horse pick in Lol Steamroller. I think he does his research. He's watched every replay of his opponents before every week. So he's always prepared for his opponents and what they might do. So I think he can do some really surprising things and surprise a lot of people with how well he does in the tournament.
Yeah, that's of course.
That said, Deadbones take my energy.
That's of course the activity from Lol Steamroller that we saw from Xeno Coop when he won May Mayhem, the first tournament of Clash of Comrades. But Hunter, last thoughts, who you think's going to win in the finals?
I'm going to have to go Shu here. Lol Steamroller's been doing a great job in the qualifiers here, taking out some big names, and I really have a lot of faith in him going into the playoffs. Deadbones obviously very strong player as well, and he's going to have to beat him to really prove himself as one of the top players, I think.
All right. Well,
I think it's going to be interesting to see how these players are going to adapt to each other. Like, we have 3 weeks and a ton of matches for them to pour over. And I'm just curious if we're going to see any change in strategies from anybody. Like, are we going to see cheese plays in the finals?
I certainly hope so.
I'd love to see some cheese plays.
Well, we will find out in 1 week on Saturday again at 3 p.m. EDT, and then the day after on Sunday for the semi and grand finals. 3 p.m. EDT, both days. For now, that is all we have for you guys today. I want to thank Hunter, Shufai Pai, Best Team Maker, and LeConte for casting up here. And I also want to thank FreakSpot for helping to bug test that lovely pie chart we had during the stream. So excellent job to you guys. Thank you again to all the devs for making this game, and thank you to the community that's been helping us build a website in the last few days. Looks beautiful, and I know some of you are watching from that very website. But for now, that's all we have for you guys today. We will see you in a week for the quarterfinals. Thank you all very much for watching, and have a great afternoon.